yoga and meditation was to allow there to be a bridge, allow there to be this merging, this kind of coming together, or this binding of the two, so they wouldn't feel as separate or as different than or as apart from whatever that is. And so a lot of the sutras mentions that separateness of the witness and the object. And the object could be a person, a place, or a thing. And then when you start to steep in that meditative process, then you have all the duality and the polarity just fall away. And as it falls away, you experience that state of pure unity, or what we say, we drop into the ocean of bliss, or connect back to source energy, or that state of consciousness behind everything that exists. And the tantric form of yoga that came about later than the classical form, before the modern day form, they said, no, it's non-dualistic. Don't even think about it being dualistic, even though we see this contrast. They say that the true nature of everything is the same. So if you look at kind of the Indian type of philosophy, it's the duality is spirit and nature, or spirit in creation, or consciousness in creation. And if you look at the Buddhist idea of this duality, they say, oh, it's mind body, or mind spirit. And then you move into what Christianity would call Platonic duality. And so the tantric yogis are coming in and saying, no, there's no duality at all. When you really get down to the nitty gritty of things, if you get down to the true essence or the true nature of things, it's all the same. So I know I'm not going to tell you which one to believe, because even in yoga, you have one piece of philosophy this way and one piece of philosophy this way. But the idea is still to create the state of union. So our intention for the practice today is just to be in the question, just to be in that realm of this 3D reality where we definitely see duality and polarity playing out around us. And then as we focus and as we practice and as we purify the mind and as we settle in and get grounded and get more centered in the heart space, hopefully you'll discover who the true nature of myself isn't really about what's good or bad, what's right or wrong, what's dark, what's light, what's masculine and what's feminine. It's all just kind of neutral within that held space, the sacred space. So I'm just going to let you experiment with it yourself tonight. The practice we're going to be doing has a lot of twist in it, and we're going to be doing some crescent lunges. And I want to go ahead and share this with you. I just filmed something today in my kitchen, because last night I decided to go to a studio, to go to a class myself and be a student. And I had the worst time with these crescent lunges. My balance was all over the place. I kept wanting to fall out. And I decided to film something for you guys that I'll put up on YouTube either today or tomorrow or Thursday. And it's how to use your kitchen counter as a way to strike some balance and to play around with those crescent lunges in your kitchen. So that'll be up in a couple of days. So if you have trouble with it, that's coming up to help you later. All right, I'll meet you on the mat. And so we're going to start off in child's pose. If you feel like you need a blanket under your knees, you can absolutely supply that. If you want to have your big toes touching your thighs side by side, you can drape over like so, where the arms are wrapped around your body and your spine's gently rounded. If you prefer the extended version, your arms can reach out in front. You can bring traction in your spine, and you can even separate your knees a little wider if that's more comfortable. So I'm going to let you settle into that. And start your pranayama. Breathing in and out through the nose. Remembering, even if your head is felt separate from your body today, the breath is the bridge to create more of a deeper connection. To light up the awareness, not just in your physical self, but in the framework of your mind. On your next inhalation, go ahead and stretch the arms out in front of you. Lift your head and your heart. Walk your hands over to the right side of your mat and gently lower back down. You're forming a side bend, accentuating that stretch on the left side, and breathing more specifically into your left lung. On your next inhale, gently lift up. Go ahead and cross over your mat to the left. Extend long through the arms, especially through the right side body. And it's okay if the head hovers. It doesn't have to touch down. And see if you can create more expansion now in your right lung. Inhale, slowly lift up. Bring your hands back to the sticky mat and rock up to hands and knees. When you rock up to hands and knees, really plug the shins and the feet into the floor as well as your left palm. We're going to stack the right hand just behind the head. We're going to inhale, lift the right arm, slightly twisting to the right. And then exhale, lower the elbow, square the shoulders, bow the head. Doing that twice more. Inhale, open up to the right. Exhale, descend down. Keeping the belly nice and snug towards the spine. Inhale once more. And then exhale, release the right hand down to the floor. You're going to extend your right leg off to the side. So your right leg's extended out, your foot is planted down, and you're going to rock back towards your heel. You don't have to go all the way back because we're just warming up. We'll inhale, tip forward like table, and then exhale, we're leaning back just to start to stretch out the right leg. Now lower the right knee back down to table. Inhale, this time we'll sweep the whole right arm out and up. And as we exhale, we're gonna thread and loop it underneath the left arm, but hover the face, because we're inhale, opening back into the twist. Exhale, moving towards thread the needle, but not all the way yet. One more, inhale. Exhale, thread it below. This time, face plant down. And see if you could lift your left arm and loop it behind your back. And because the left shoulder is rolling open, that's going to assist in helping you to roll more towards your right shoulder blade. Kind of puffing into that side of your back. So even notice with these postures, there are certain muscles that have to contract and tighten, whereas other muscles can receive the expansion, the stretch, the opening. So we even see this dualistic behavior in the body, but yet they're all coordinated and working in conjunction together for our singular self. So you can see how this idea of dualism and non-dualism can be a lot to ponder. Let's go ahead and send the left hand down to the floor. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Now we get to do that to the second side. The left hand's going to cup the back side of the head. We'll root down through the right arm, spin open to the left. You will have some limitations somewhere. Notice where that is. Exhale, let the head go. Inhale, open up. Exhale, descend the left elbow down, face down. One more, inhale, lift. And now exhale, you can descend your left palm, and then you can inhale, extend the left leg, planting that foot. We'll rock back on the exhale, and we'll inhale, come forward. Exhale, lean back. And again, you don't have to go all the way to that right foot. We're just warming up the inner thigh and the hamstrings here. Let's do one more. And then inhale, let's come up, descend the left knee, and we're gonna come on down to the belly. When you come down to your chest, slide your left knee up so it's more in line with your hip, and the foot is flexed off your mat. So there's a couple different things you can do here. One option is to spread your goddess or winged arms and lower down to your right temple, and you could just chill, just relax. However, you might want to combine the hip work with a heart opening position. So if you want to practice Sphinx arms, and your third option is straightening out the left leg. Of course, that depends on your arrangement of furniture and what's available. And your hands will stack towards the corners of the mat, way ahead of your shoulders, to prop you up like seal. So 3 choices. More active with the seal and the straight leg. Hip and heart, Sphinx arms with the frog leg. Or winged arms lower to the face, just to allow yourself to release, to relax, and to let go. And personalize your practice based on how you have felt today. Today is a new moon. Now, if you are stacked in seal, come down to your forearms, bend the knee. If you're in this position, you're going to come down and join the others. And then inhale, stretch your left leg back, turn to your brow, slide your hands up underneath your shoulders, roll and crank the shoulders back, rise up to Bhujangasana, building some strength in your back body, opening up the front body. Affirming, I rise joyfully to greet each and every new opportunity. And as you exhale, let's roll it down. Spread your arms again. Turn to rest on your left cheek. Slide your right knee up alongside your hip. And this is your first option. Maybe this is what you need to get really grounded after the day into your body. Maybe you've been hunched over your desk and you're feeling like, I need something that will help my posture or to lift my energy, so you can perform this hybrid position. Or you can take it that third option, straighten out the right leg, stack onto the arms. And it may be that one position calls to you on one side and a different position calls to you on the other. And I would pay attention to that. We even say the right side's the masculine, the solar, the active, the intellectual side, and the left side is the feminine, the receptive, the lunar side. Be contemplative as you rest and breathe. Dualism or non-dualism? What is true for you? Now, if you're stacked on your arms, come down to Sphinx arms. And then from Sphinx arms, let's all come down to the chest, down to the left temple. Inhale, stretch the right leg back. Slip your hands back underneath your shoulders. Rest to the brow. Lengthen your leg bones back. Roll up to Bhujangasana. And then as you exhale, curl your toes and we'll roll back to downward facing dog. But when we arrive to downward facing dog, I want you to baby step your feet forward, just a step, and separate them as wide as your mat and sail up and away into your tailbone. Now, if you need to stay here, you can for this next flow, but I'd like you to try pressing into your right hand, taking your left hand across to your right calf, and slightly twisting up underneath that right arm. Inhale, re-extend the left arm, plant that palm. Once you have stability, press into the left hand more, take the weight off your right hand, take a hold of your left calf, and maybe slightly twist up underneath that arm. And then we're going to go back and forth. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, twist the left hand over to the right leg. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, cross the right hand over to the left. Inhale, downward facing dog. Now step the feet closer together before traveling them all the way up to the top of the mat. And once you come to the top of the mat, it's okay to have a soft bend in your knees. It's okay to hang like a rag doll, or if you prefer, holding or cupping your elbows. Breathing in and out through the nose. And when you're ready, sink down through the feet, sweep the arms to your sides and up, overhead. Urdhva Hastasana, exhale palms together and come down to Uttanasana. This time keeping your legs more structured. See if you can lift your kneecaps to define your quads as the hamstrings get more length. Inhale, slide your hands up your leg bones, lengthen out through the crown of the head, and exhale, gently fall back in. On your next inhale, you're going to step both feet to plank. Pause here in plank. Rock forward, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, bloom the heart through to up dog. Exhale, roll it back to downward facing dog. When you roll it back to downward facing dog, press into the palms. Create more space in between each vertebra. All right. One more breath. And then step the feet slightly closer towards each other. We're going to lift the right leg first. And then once you lift the right leg in midair, really extend through your arms, push up and out through the right heel, but make sure the right knee, hip, and toes are turned to face down. So there's no cranking or twisting through the arms. Step that foot forward and through between your hands and rise up to crescent lunge. When you come up to crescent lunge, this is the pose I was mentioning was causing me grief last night. I had a really tough time. Gaze straight ahead with your eyes. Inhale, lift taller by using your back foot. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart and sink the back ankle closer to the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, slightly sink back down. It's not a lot of movement. It's not very dramatic. Inhale up. Now stay up and you're going to twist to your right. Inhale, face the front. Exhale, bring hands down the center. You're going to land your right hand to the floor and spin open to the front thigh, reaching the right arm towards the sky. Deep belly breaths. Exhale, land your right hand, and you're going to stay on the ball of the back foot, and we're going to do an open twist this time. The left arm reaches out and up. I think this one feels so much better. But both types of twist are good for us. All right, exhale. Let's lower the left hand down. Step back to plank. Shift forward, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, bloom the heart through to up dog. Exhale, roll it back to downward facing dog. When you re-arrive to downward facing dog, make sure there's not too much space between the big toes. That way your balance can be more steady when you uplift your left leg. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Create the same sensation in each pit of the arm. Left hip, left knee, left toes pointed down. Step or swing that foot all the way through towards the hands. When you're ready, coming up to crescent. Take your time. Be patient with yourself. Inhale, lift taller. Exhale, hands to heart, sink your back heel. Twice more, inhale, lift. Exhale in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dip. This time when we inhale, lift, we twist to the left. This is not easy. And breathe. So I'll teach you how to use your kitchen counter in a couple of days with this pose. Inhale, face the front. Exhale, hands to heart, come on down. Your right hand will land, and then you'll fly the left arm skyward. Drive your left hip towards the back of your mat, slightly in towards yourself. Exhale, lower the left hand down. Inhale, fly the right arm skyward. Take your time. Exhale, lower the right hand. Step back to plank. From plank, we're going to line the big toes up side by side. Okay, once you do that, you're going to roll to the outer edge of the left foot, carry the right arm skyward. Now, if that's too much for you, hop the right foot over, plant it down, or lower the left knee and keep your right leg long. So there's options. From whatever side plank you're in, take full plank. Walk the big toes closer together. Turn to the outer edge of the right foot. Left arm reaches up. If you need that top foot to cross over or the lower knee to ground down, find a position that works well for you today. All right, come back to full plank. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna lower the knees. We're gonna rock back to child's. Pick which formation you prefer. Close your eyes. Consider the duality and the polarity that exists in your own household, within your own families, amongst all those personalities. You know, there may be times where you're all moving along peacefully, and there's other times where there may be some clashes. How do you work through that? And can we do the same thing in life or in our workplace? Duality or non-duality? All right, inhale. Let's go ahead and stretch the arms out in front of us. Rock up to hands and knees. We'll go into some cat-cows. Inhale to cow tilt. Exhale to cat stretch. And then I want you to create whatever freestyle movement. You know, if you like the barrel rolls, you can do the barrel rolls. If you do the barrel roll, be sure to eventually go that other direction, even if it's not consistent. And then walk and travel your hands a baby step more forward, curl your toes under, launch back to downward facing dog. When you return to downward facing dog, slim the distance between the big toes, fly your right leg up. When you're ready, step that foot through. Ground the back foot to the floor. Inhale, helicopter up to warrior two. Now, when you get aligned in warrior two position, try to get that front thigh more parallel to the floor, the side body with equanimity. And really pay attention to the external rotation in your hips and thighs, because now we're going to turn the chin in line with your chest. Arms lift to frame the face. Exhale, hands come down to prayer. We're going to lean forward, tailbone back, sink the hands down, and then walk the arms out like downward facing dog. So essentially nothing should have changed with the lower body. That front knee still aligned over the ankle, pointed towards the center of the foot. Still the stance of warrior two in the lower half. And the upper half, very similar to downward facing dog. Now on your next inhale, walk your hands over towards the right foot, spin away from that back heel. I want you to land your left hand and see if it's possible to move to Vasisthasana with your right leg up. And again, you can press the foot down for stability and assistance. You can also return to your left knee and straighten the right leg. Coming to plank, shift forward, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, rise to up dog. Exhale, rock and roll back to down dog. Control and master your breath. Walk the feet slightly closer together. And then lift your left leg up. Knee, toes turn down. Step the foot through. Ground the back foot. Helicopter up. Warrior two. Arms separate over the legs. Heart rising. Hips spreading. And then turn your head to be neutral, chin in line with your chest. Lift the arms up to frame the face. Exhale, hands to heart, start to hinge. Tailbone back, hands descend, and then slide your arms out. Remember, your breath should be your fuel. Plug into that power. Let it light you up. Let it turn your muscles on. Walk your hands in, frame the front foot. And I know this isn't easy, so you know where we're going at least. Your right hand down as you turn the right foot and fly the left limbs up. Okay, if that's too challenging, no problem. Step your left foot down or lower that right knee, extend the left leg. Don't force, don't fight, just be. All right, full plank. Shift forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the feet through to the top of the mat, however you want to arrive. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow out. Affirming here, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. No polarity, no duality. From finding a state of union. And maybe that state of union is just with yourself, where the ego and the soul meet, where the mind and the body come into alignment. Inhale, root down and soar up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring hands together and bow again. All right, this time we're going to change up the flow a little bit. We're going to step the left foot back first, so we're in that kind of low lunge. And we're going to do a little core work here. So once you ground your hands, you're going to kick up the right heel, bringing it in towards the glutes, the knees tucking in towards the chest. And then inhale, sail back. Ekapada, Adho Mukha Svanasana. That one-legged down dog. And then cross that knee under the belly towards your left elbow or tricep. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, take your right knee towards your right arm. Inhale, back it up. Exhale, step the right foot through between the hands. We're coming up. Crescent. From crescent, we're striking a little bit more of a back bend. Take your time. Hands to heart. Turn and plant your back foot. Turn your torso. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten the right leg. Launch down to triangle pose. Trikonasana. All right, the next move is a little fancier than what we've been doing. So if you already know that you don't want to do these fancy side planks, I get it. It's the new moon after all. So if you want to be down on the knee with one leg straight, go for that pose instead, okay? But what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take you into a more advanced position if you wanna try. Your left hand's gonna ground, you're gonna turn away from your back heel. The first two fingers will wrap around the right big toe as you spin into side plank and fly the right leg up. Exhale, full plank. Take your vinyasa. Inhale, feet travel to the top of the mat. And then this next flow will target that other side. When you're ready, inhale, come up, Urdhva Hastasana. Take stock here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot's gonna step back. Do that same sequence. So we start cheetah. The left knee tucking into the chest, the heel lifting up towards the buttocks. And then inhale, press back, elevating the left leg upward. Exhale, come forward, shoulders over hands, cross that knee under and through to the right arm. Inhale, back it up. Exhale, left knee to left, triceps or elbow. Inhale, sail it back. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, come up to crescent. Maybe a back bend. Hands come back to the heart. Slowly turn down to your right foot. Open the arms, warrior two. Press through the left foot to straighten the front leg. Reach out, windmill down, Trikonasana. From triangle, gaze down. Right hand lands, turn to the ball of the back foot. And again, you don't have to do this fancy form. You can lower your right knee and straighten your left leg. Or you can turn, lift, and open up. Back to full plank. Lower the knees. Come back to child's. Child's pose becomes like this little safety zone in the practice. So enjoy your moments here. Taking the weight off your wrist. And slide your hands back. And start to come up. I'm going to face you a moment. So your big toes are touching, your thighs are widening, and we're coming down to the palms, but the fingers are turned to face you. This is Siddhasana, the lion. We usually do lion's breath. And I couldn't do this at the studio today because we can't breathe out through our mouths right now in that environment, but we're at home, so let's do it. Take a deep breath in. Open the eyes, expel the tongue, breathe out. 2 more. Last one. Release the hands by peeling them up. And we're gonna come down to our seat. And you know, if you have carpet, it's not gonna matter. But if you're on a hardwood floor, you may want to turn sideways on your mat like I'm doing, just to have that little extra padding under the feet. All right, so we're gonna do a counter pose. That was a lot for the wrist. And my wrist joints or thumb joints have been a little aggravated. And it wasn't due to this. I actually woke up this way, but this didn't help. So let's bring the back of the hands together after we draw our thumb and index fingers together, Jnana Mudra. And then we're gonna do that flowing hands, Lotus Mudra. Circling the hands down and around towards the heart, up towards the chin. Ah, this feels so good for the wrist. I can imagine if you've been on your computer a lot, I bet this would be really good for your mouse hand too. All right, shake it out. All right, we're gonna focus on the legs here. So the first thing I want you to do is really push down through your thigh bones. And notice when you push down through your thigh bones, how your kneecaps kind of squeeze in, which defines the quads. At the same time, you're putting that dorsiflexion through the feet, toes staying uplifted, staying on the center of your heel. And I want you to take your hands to land on your thigh bones, give them a little extra press. Shoulders stay back and you're just gonna tilt forward. And this may be plenty. So as you can tell, we're really anchoring the legs, not just through our muscular action, but also using the weight of the arms. Because we're diving down, you're gonna feel how gravity really wants to pull you in that direction. Try not to collapse. And if you feel like your core is weakening and you are gonna collapse your chest, just stack your hands in front of you instead. And that can provide a nice brace, but also keep the neutral spine. Now you can also, if you're going a little deeper, because my feet want to pigeon toe in, yours may want to go the other way. So if you land your hands on your shins and then pause here, you can focus on making sure the feet stay aligned. You can also, if you're more flexible, take the hands to the toes, but that's a lot to defy gravity. So you may want to come to forearms. I'll let you discern. I want you to consider as you're folding here, how duality is a concept or experience of life where one chooses what is right or wrong, good or bad. It tends to judge. We tend to choose. And our physical world and existence is full of this. And then think about what the Buddhists say, that dualism is just a concept of the mind, and the mind can be in the way, and that's nothing but a veil of illusion to create this idea of separateness. You may or may not agree with that, and that's okay. Yoga helps us to determine what our personal truth is and stay strong in that. On your next inhale, let's gently begin to come up. All right, and I thought I would give you an option for your final inversion. And I'll demo both ones. And so you could actually go to a wall too. If you have the wall space, you could do legs up the wall and separate the legs wide. Or you could be flat on your back and just separate your legs wide like this. And the other variation would be more like plow pose, which I don't want to do without a blanket. You can do it without a blanket, but I'm still trying to take care of my neck. So if you want to use a blanket, it would go under your vertebrae, not your head, okay? Only your spine. And then when you kick the legs up, you catch your hips with your hands, and the legs will splay open. Very similar to plow. We're going to be here for several breaths. If the sensation becomes too much and you're at the wall, just draw the legs back together. Same thing if you're flat on your back, just draw the legs together for waterfall. Same thing here. If you're in the wide stance form of plow, you can draw the legs closer together. Now, if you're at a wall, stay. If you're in waterfall, you can descend your feet. You can even hug your knees in. If you're in plow, though, take your hands to the ground. Squeeze in through your belly. And roll down one vertebra at a time. And if you're at the wall, you can just stay. You can stay for Shavasana, actually. If you're still on your mat, bend your knees and be down on your back. And we'll do a restorative fish before we set up for Shavasana. So being flat on your back, knees bent, lift your arms up. Exhale, slide your arms down beside you. Tuck the shoulders under, uplift the cavity of your chest. Now, if you'd rather do regular fish, you can, of course, sit on your hands, straighten your legs, puff up your chest, and hang the head back. And eventually coming out. I would suggest hugging the knees in. And it is time for Shavasana. So for our deep relaxation, if you have a bolster, you can have that under your legs. The blanket can cover you or work like the pillow or like that European wrap if you want to take it across your belly. Let's have the arms beside us and the palms open. Let your fingers relax and curl in. Let your feet relax and roll out. Take inventory as you scan the body from your feet up to your hips and pelvis. And purposely try to relax each and every part, even the pelvic floor. Notice if you get caught with a thought, running away with it, one or more fingers might extend. So check in with your hands. And bring a state of rest from your fingertips up to the shoulders. Now run to the back of the shoulders. Feel your shoulder blades touching down. Feel your rib cage resting down and your sacrum resting down. And then come back up, softening the area around the sacrum, your mid back, your upper back. And even feel the weight of your head. Circle back around to the front of the body, but bring it down into your belly. Notice if there's any gripping or holding in your core. Is there anything prohibiting the expansion you're receiving here on your next inhalation? Observe the same thing in your chest. Does your chest have freedom to rise and fall? Relax your throat, your jaw, the interior and exterior of your mouth, nose, eyes, and ears. And once you relax the sensory organs, gaze towards the mind's eye. Let this time of restoration allow you to drop into the ocean of bliss within. To this place where you feel more interconnected, more truth, more you. And in that state of perhaps some non-duality. Once you hear the mindfulness bell sound, open up your breath. Create a little movement. And then exit out of the pose that you had chosen. And join me in a comfortable seat. Joining your palms together, where the left side meets the right side. And hopefully you feel less pulled apart, less driven towards the past or future. Where you can be a little more neutral and hold space for all the polarity and duality that we witness. When I am indwelling in my heart space and you are indwelling in yours, we are one. I hope you feel the oneness. Celebrate this and allow the ripple effects to extend past you to others that you meet in life. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Oh.